Red Bull hits a huge milestone with the RB21. More details from Hamilton's crash have been revealed, and Verstappen gets warned for getting banned. Do consider subbing. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Max Verstappen has once again made headlines, this time as Red Bull prepares to debut the RB21. This iconic moment is significant, marking a key development milestone as the Formula One landscape shifts towards the 2025 season. The buzz surrounding the RB21 has intensified since the car successfully passed the FIA's mandatory crash tests. With safety being paramount in racing, this achievement is a strong indication that Red Bull is set to hit the track in earnest. On February 25th, prior to the official pre-season test in Sakhir, Bahrain, fans can expect the RB21 to make its shakedown debut. For Red Bull, this moment isn't just about unveiling a new car. It's about laying the groundwork for what they hope will be another championship-winning season. Last year, Max Verstappen showcased his incredible talent by clinching a fourth consecutive World Championship title, triumphing over McLaren's Lando Norris by a remarkable 63 points. This milestone puts Verstappen in elite company, becoming only the second driver in F1 history to secure 4 titles back-to-back, alongside the legendary Sebastian Vettel. However, the road to the 2025 season hasn't been entirely smooth for Red Bull. The 2024 campaign presented challenges, including a prolonged losing streak where Verstappen went 10 races without a win, marking the longest dry spell of his career since 2020. As we delve deeper into Verstappen's journey, it's fascinating to note the pivotal role played by his father, Jos Verstappen. Jos has been more than just a dad. He's been a fierce mentor, shaping Max into the formidable racer we see today. The dynamics within the Red Bull team also changed recently. Following the departure of Sergio Perez, New Zealand driver Liam Lawson is stepping up to partner Verstappen. Lawson's rookie season could either bolster the team's performance or add pressure as they strive for dominance. With Adrian Newey, the renowned F1 design architect, transitioning to Aston Martin, it's now up to the new technical team, led by Pierre Wache, to prove their mettle. The stakes are high as they aim to deliver a 5th consecutive championship title for Verstappen. Traditionally, Red Bull has conducted its shakedown tests at Silverstone, the home track of the British Grand Prix. However, the unique winter schedule this year has prompted a shift to Bahrain for the RB21 shakedown. This decision reflects Red Bull's adaptability and determination to optimize their preparations for the upcoming season. Adding to the excitement, Formula One will host its first ever collective season launch event in London on February 18th. However, teams are expected to only unveil their race liveries during this extravaganza, keeping the RB21 and its competitors tightly under wraps until the official 3-day test in Bahrain, which runs from February 26th to 28th. As Red Bull gears up for this pivotal moment, the anticipation builds. Can they reclaim their position at the top? Will Verstappen continue to dominate? All will be revealed soon as the world watches closely to see if the RB21 can live up to its predecessor's legacy. Stick around for more updates as the F1 season unfolds. As we look ahead to the 2024 F1 season, all eyes will be on Red Bull Racing, especially with their new car, the RB21, set to hit the track just a day before the official testing begins on February 25th. It's exciting to note that the RB21 has recently passed the FIA's crash tests, making Red Bull the second team after Ferrari to check this crucial milestone off their list. In 2023, Red Bull delivered an incredible performance, clinching 21 out of 22 races, a feat that marks one of the most dominant seasons in Formula One history. Yet this year, they're embracing a fresh approach with the new RB21. According to driver Max Verstappen, who had a stellar year with the RB20, the team has significantly enhanced the car this year, transforming it into what he describes as a monster. The turning point for Red Bull appears to have been the Monza weekend last year, where the team pinpointed flaws in the RB20 and made some critical adjustments. Helmut Marko, a long-standing advisor for the team, expressed optimism about their progress and readiness for the challenges ahead. Despite this leap in innovation, it's still uncertain whether Red Bull will stick with the fundamental design of the RB20 or revert to concepts from the RB19 that brought them significant success. In an exclusive chat at the Belgian Grand Prix, the chief engineer hinted the RB21 would diverge from its predecessor. The focus will be on pushing the boundaries of performance in this new iteration. Max Verstappen is also advocating for a change in the team's livery. Having piloted a matte blue car since 2016, he seems eager to see a vibrant shift back to the glossy finishes reminiscent of older Red Bull models. Verstappen shared his thoughts on the team's podcast, expressing a desire for something fresher and more exciting to keep the brand alive. As anticipation builds, fans can hardly wait to see how these innovations pan out on the track. With testing just around the corner, we'll soon find out if the RB21 can indeed uphold the high standards set by its remarkable predecessor. Stay tuned for more developments as we gear up for another thrilling season of Formula One. Lewis Hamilton has recently made headlines with his crash during testing at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya while driving for Ferrari. The incident raised concerns among fans and followers of the sport, but it appears Hamilton has come out of the situation unscathed. During a 3-day test session, Hamilton shared driving duties with his teammate Charles Leclerc. On the second day, he took to the track in the afternoon after Leclerc's morning session. However, distressing news broke when Hamilton left the track around 11 a.m. local time, resulting in a collision with the barriers. Thankfully, reports quickly confirmed that the 7-time world champion was unharmed in the crash. This testing session marked a significant time for Hamilton as he transitions from Mercedes to Ferrari for the upcoming 2025 F1 season. As fans know, change can come with its own challenges, and this crash exemplifies the risks of a driver adjusting to a new team and a different car at high speeds. The accident occurred in the final sector of the track, which has been restored to its original layout for the 2023 season. This sector is known for its 2 high-speed right-hand corners, indicating that the conditions during testing were certainly demanding as Hamilton pushed the limits of the car. Following the crash, it was reported that the car sustained significant damage, particularly to the suspension and some aerodynamic components, delaying Leclerc's running time later that day. Ferrari's team, led by Jerome D'Ambrosio, is now working diligently to investigate the factors that led to the incident. Despite the setback, both Hamilton and Ferrari appear to be taking this in stride. Multiple reports indicate that the team is not overly concerned about the crash and views it as a normal part of a driver adapting to a new environment. Hamilton had previously expressed challenges with the car's dynamics during his initial test at Ferrari's private Fiorano track, further emphasizing that adjustment periods are common and expected. As Hamilton and Leclerc prepare for the remainder of the test, the team has indicated that they may bring in reserve drivers for the final day. However, it remains to be seen how the plans will unfold, especially after Hamilton's crash has disrupted the testing schedule. Transitioning to Ferrari has been a topic of intrigue for F1 fans, with many speculating about what this new chapter holds for Hamilton. With an imperative season ahead, Hamilton is keen to leave behind the disappointments of previous seasons and carve out a successful path in his new team. Overall, while the crash in Barcelona was concerning, it ultimately presents an opportunity for growth and learning for Hamilton as he seeks to gain confidence in his new surroundings. As testing continues, fans are eager to see how Hamilton adapts and evolves with Ferrari, setting the stage for an exciting season ahead in Formula One. Lewis Hamilton's recent time at the Ferrari test in Barcelona revealed how challenging the transition to the iconic team can be. Despite his extensive experience in Formula One, he struggled to find comfort with the car's setup, narrowly avoiding potential mishaps at critical corners. Engineers at Ferrari worked diligently to resolve technical issues before the test, demonstrating their commitment to optimizing performance for the upcoming season. Hamilton, traditionally accustomed to Mercedes' carbon industry brake materials, faced a different challenge with the Brembo brakes used in the Ferrari. This switch could lead to significant differences in how he approaches his driving style, as familiarizing himself with new braking systems is crucial for performance. Looking ahead, Hamilton and teammate Charles Leclerc are set to return to Barcelona for a vital Pirelli tire test on February 4th and 5th. This will mark a significant opportunity for Hamilton to get behind the wheel of a modified version of Ferrari's SF24 chassis, often referred to as a mule car. This design aims to simulate the downforce expected from the new regulations slated for 2026, a move that could shape the future of the sport. Interestingly, Ferrari has a history of creating mule cars, which have played a significant role in developing Pirelli's tires for upcoming regulations. They have previously utilized these modified vehicles to prepare for sweeping adjustments in car design, ensuring they remain competitive. In the midst of these tests, Hamilton's impressive reputation as a driver continues to grow. Though he faced some setbacks, fans are excited about his connection with Ferrari. This test was just a stepping stone in Hamilton's journey, building a narrative of anticipation as he settles into his new role with a team renowned for its rich history and success in racing. As the current testing wraps up, the F1 community remains on the edge of their seats, eager for Hamilton to refine his performance with Ferrari, making this transition one of the most talked about stories in motorsport today. The developments in Barcelona could potentially redefine the dynamics of Formula One in the seasons ahead, showcasing Hamilton's adaptability in the face of change. Johnny Herbert's relationship with Max Verstappen has been anything but straightforward, especially in the high-stakes world of Formula One. Just days before his removal as an FIA steward, Herbert issued a final, stern warning to Verstappen, cautioning him that his aggressive driving style could lead to significant pushback from his rivals. Over the past season, Herbert found himself on the front lines of Verstappen's contentious title fight. He didn't hold back his criticisms, particularly regarding Verstappen's clashes with other drivers, notably Lando Norris. These incidents highlighted a growing concern within the racing community about the young driver's mentality on the track. During a recent race, Herbert observed Verstappen's driving in Austria, Aston, and Mexico, where he faced serious repercussions for his actions. After penalizing Verstappen with a 20-second penalty at the Mexican Grand Prix, Herbert did not mince words when describing the Red Bull star's mindset. He expressed his frustration, describing Verstappen's style as horrible, especially when he jeopardized fellow competitors by pushing them off track. As an avid Verstappen fan, Herbert's criticism stemmed from a place of disappointment. He acknowledged Verstappen's undeniable talent behind the wheel, but urged him to recognize the importance of fair play. He doesn't need to do it, Herbert emphasized, noting that Verstappen was more than capable of maintaining his lead without resorting to aggressive tactics. With the championship on the line, Herbert believed that all Verstappen needed to do was drive smart and avoid unnecessary conflicts. Herbert's comments also sparked discussions about the governance of Formula One and the role of the FIA. As a governing body, the FIA is responsible for maintaining the integrity of the sport, ensuring that rules and regulations are enforced fairly. Yet, in recent times, the debate surrounding bias and fairness in officiating has intensified. Herbert himself faced accusations of favoritism, but firmly denied them, asserting that his penalties were based solely on the actions observed on the track, independent of personal bias. As he finished his tenure with the FIA, Herbert left with a sense of urgency that resonated within the F1 community. His warning to Verstappen served as a reminder that the competitive world of Formula One is evolving, and so are the expectations of its drivers. The sport thrives on competition, but it also relies heavily on respect and sportsmanship. In the looming future of Formula One, it will be interesting to see how Verstappen takes this final piece of advice from a passionate former steward. Will he adapt his driving style to foster better relations with his competitors, or will he continue to push the boundaries, risking further controversies? Only time will reveal the impact of Herbert's words, but one thing is certain: Formula One is a sport that is ever evolving, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Stay tuned as we follow the developments in this monumental racing saga. What's been brewing in the Formula One world? Well, it's the tension surrounding Max Verstappen, not just from his performances on the track, but also his intense interactions with fellow drivers. Recently, a three-time Grand Prix winner expressed how Verstappen has been intimidating to his rivals with his bold comments. They've had enough, and drivers like George Russell are stepping up, challenging that bravado. Russell's actions are crucial, as this type of pushback promotes respect among competitors. It's vital for the sport, creating a level of accountability even amongst the fiercest of rivals. Respect on the racetrack isn't just about skill behind the wheel. It's about how drivers stand their ground against each other. By calling out Verstappen's tactics, Russell is not only asserting his own position, but encouraging others to do the same. It's this strength that shifts the dynamics on the track and introduces uncertainty. Can a driver intimidate Verstappen right back, especially during a pivotal point in a race? These question marks linger as Verstappen maintains his confidence, yet the atmosphere has shifted. Lando Norris is also in the mix, appearing to learn how to navigate this competitive tension, understanding what it takes to stand tall against the reigning champion. In the midst of this cutthroat environment, another story is brewing. Rumors are swirling that Verstappen might be eyeing a transition to Aston Martin, a move deemed very real. This speculation adds another layer of intrigue to his already eventful career. And, as we anticipate the upcoming seasons with talks of FIA rule changes and evolving race formats, one thing is clear: the landscape of Formula One is changing, fueling more drama and excitement than ever. So, what do you think about these developments in the F1 community? Are we witnessing the dawn of a new era in racing? Share your thoughts below and keep racing with us for more updates. Could Max Verstappen be on the verge of swapping Red Bull for Aston Martin? Recent reports suggest that negotiations are indeed underway, with notable F1 journalist Mark Hughes stating that a move to Aston Martin could be the obvious next step for the talented driver. Despite being tied to Red Bull until the end of the F1 2028 season, Verstappen has been the center of speculation regarding a potential exit. Over the past year, the tension within the Red Bull camp, particularly between his father, Jos, and team principal Christian Horner, coupled with the team's on-track struggles, could pave the way for a change. In 2024, Verstappen clinched his fourth world championship, fending off competition from McLaren's Lando Norris. However, last season marked a challenging period, as Verstappen endured a surprising 10-race winless streak from June to November. Should a similar pattern emerge in 2025, whispers suggest that Verstappen might seek a way out of Red Bull. Hughes elaborates that Aston Martin has become an attractive possibility for Verstappen, especially after the notable addition of F1 design icon Adrian Newey, formerly of Red Bull, to their team. Moreover, starting in 2026, Aston Martin will enter into a technical partnership with Honda, who currently supply engines to Red Bull. The competitive landscape remains fierce. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has openly expressed interest in Verstappen, especially as they prepare for significant rule changes in F1 slated for 2026. With young talent Andrea Kimi Antonelli now on their roster as a potential replacement for Lewis Hamilton, speculation is rife that Mercedes is set to rekindle their efforts to secure Verstappen's signature. Hughes appeared on the Race podcast, asserting that a transition to Aston Martin seems not just plausible, but quite sensible given the longing for a new challenge from Verstappen. After 10 fruitful years with Red Bull and multiple titles to his name, he may feel ready to explore new horizons. The resources and ambitions of Aston Martin, spearheaded by owner Lawrence Stroll, paired with Verstappen's existing rapport with Honda, might just make for the perfect match. Interestingly, earlier reports suggested that Aston Martin had begun courting potential sponsors with the claim that Verstappen was destined to join the team shortly. However, the team quickly rebutted this narrative, stating that the claim was categorically false. Meanwhile, Verstappen's response was notably nonchalant, indicating a relaxed approach to the speculation. For now, Verstappen's current teammates, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, remain under contract for at least the next 2 seasons, adding another layer of complexity to any potential move. As the F1 landscape continues to evolve with new regulations and partnerships, the possibility of seeing Max Verstappen donning the Aston Martin colors in the near future appears increasingly intriguing. As we move into a season ripe with new dynamics and opportunities, all eyes will be on Verstappen as whispers of transitions and negotiations continue to capture the imagination of F1 fans worldwide. What do you think? Will we see Verstappen making the switch to Aston Martin sooner rather than later? As the excitement around Max Verstappen's future simmers, noteworthy developments reveal his intricate contract with Red Bull. Speaking to media outlets last year, team principal Christian Horner noted a performance element embedded within Verstappen's contract, which could allow him to leave the team before 2028 should Red Bull not provide a competitive car. Moreover, recent reports indicate that if Verstappen finds himself below third in the drivers' standings after a significant portion of the F1 2025 season, he may have the right to activate an exit clause. This clause echoes similar stipulations in Verstappen's previous contracts with the team, suggesting that the driver is strategically positioned to evaluate his options in the coming seasons. In the backdrop of these developments, both Verstappen and the F1 community are watching the whispers of a potential move to Aston Martin. Following a recent presentation by renowned designer Adrian Newey at Aston's factory, former team principal Mike Crack stated that the door is always open for Verstappen. The Dutch driver previously collaborated with Newey during their time at Red Bull, and with Newey's newfound influence at Aston, the team may become an attractive option for future endeavors. During the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, Verstappen refrained from dismissing the possibility of joining Aston Martin, acknowledging that Newey's presence could enhance the team's allure for him. While he insists he is centered on his current commitments, the prospect of working with Newey again certainly piques his interest. Amid the chatter surrounding transfer speculation, Verstappen remains focused on his current objectives with Red Bull. He pointed out that while he has other pressing matters to tackle, the prospect of a future move is something to consider down the line. Furthermore, the former Red Bull driver and current pundit Robert Dornbos speculated that Aston Martin is actively pursuing Verstappen and prepared to go all out to entice him. However, he also believes that a potential move to Mercedes in 2026 remains more probable due to a strong ongoing relationship with the team. As the excitement continues to build around these negotiations and potential transitions, F1 fans are left pondering what the future holds for one of the sport's brightest stars. Could a thrilling switch be on the horizon for Verstappen amidst a season of significant change? Only time will tell, but the possibility has undoubtedly ignited discussions throughout the paddock. What are your thoughts? Is Verstappen on the verge of a major shift?